Hello! A couple of weeks ago, I wanted to give outdoor painting or plein air painting a try. I didn't have an initial location in mind, so one day I just packed up my painting supplies, hopped in my car and drove around, hoping to find some place interesting. I've only gone plein air painting once before this, so I consider myself a beginner still. I made this video to show you what it's like to paint outside from a newbie's point of view. This is my first time doing an IRL or vlog style video, and it was really fun to shoot. There were many things that I could have done better in regards to the filming and the painting itself, but I did my best and I hope that as I make more in the future, the quality of these videos will get better as well. But that's it, let's jump into the video. Hey everyone, I've been driving around looking for a location to paint, and I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. I'm actually on a small road next to an oil palm plantation. I think I'll be able to work with some of this here to see if I can find a good composition so that I can paint it. Alright, so I've been walking around a bunch just looking for suitable compositions to paint, and I think I settled on this right behind me here. I'm gonna paint this road and this group of trees right here. This is me setting up my makeshift painting easel, which is a piece of cardboard that's clipped to this tripod here. Yeah, so the sun is getting insane. It's so hot. I have the easel and the camera set up. I'm gonna start painting, hopefully get this done as soon as I can so I can get out of here. It's so warm. So warm. So this is the watercolor set that I'm using. It's just a beginner set with 12 colors. Here we go, I'm gonna start painting now. I started the painting by wetting the upper portion of the paper. I'm planning to do a light blue wash for the sky, and preemptively wetting the paper will allow me to get a soft gradient from the top to bottom. I do the same thing for the greener areas on either side as well as the dirt road. I'm keeping the initial wash pretty transparent because I intend to build up the layers as I continue to work on this painting. You probably noticed that I already did a rough pencil sketch on the paper to block out the general positions of the shapes that I'll be painting. The paint will eventually cover up most of the pencil marks in the end, so there's no worry of it showing through. I introduced some temperature variations in the greens on the left side to keep things interesting. You can see here that the light changes a lot during the course of the painting. The scene can go from soft, cloudy lighting to harsh sunlight in a matter of minutes. I wasn't really prepared for this, and I kept changing my painting accordingly instead of just sticking to one lighting scenario. I started painting the trees on the right with a dark, cool green wash. I used the side of my round brush in a dabbing motion to mimic the leafy shapes of the trees. I followed this up with a darker color to paint in the shadows as well as the tree trunks. I made sure to maintain subtle temperature variations in the greens throughout the painting. The glare of the sun on the paper made it hard to see sometimes. My highlights looked brighter and my shadows looked darker than they actually were, and I ended up with a low contrast painting overall because of this. I'll try to paint in the shade next time to avoid this problem. There are some cows passing by. I hope they don't bother me. But a bunch of them's coming this way, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone taking care of them. Yep, cows just passing by. I think they're going into the oil plantation to to graze, or maybe to get to another area. Okay, now I begin painting the left side of the scene. I'm using a brighter, warmer green this time, and with the same dabbing motion, I paint in the leaves of the small trees on the left. And then, with a cooler, darker green, I paint in the shadowy areas in the grass that the sunlight just can't reach. Although I'm using a pretty big brush, I'm only painting with the tip of it to get the smaller leaf shapes. To paint the small tree branches, I switch over to a finer round brush and made long thin strokes of light brown through the leaf masses I put in earlier. Now using the small brush, I'm able to add in finer details on top of the bigger shapes from earlier. I prefer using round brushes to paint foliage because I feel like the shapes that they create are just more organic compared to flat brushes. You can also change up the angle that you're holding the brush to just get more variation in your strokes. I like to move around the painting a lot and not just focus on one specific area for too long. This helps to keep the detail level consistent across the entire painting. Circling back to the dirt road, I add in more shadows in the area underneath the big trees on the right. I gradually cool down the colors as I work towards the foreground. At this point, I am pretty happy with the big shapes. Most of the important elements are already in place, and I just want to increase the contrast a little. I mix some green with black to get this dark green color that I use to paint in the little shadows that are cast by the leaves. Using the same color, I boost the shadows of the trees on the right side, as well as the little bushes down in the bottom right corner of the painting. While I was working, quite a number of trucks and cars passed by. Some of them stopped to look at what I was doing, and one guy even came down to chat for a bit. It was really nice and he seemed genuinely interested in what I was doing. And at another time, I actually had to move my gear aside to give way to this construction vehicle. I guess constantly being distracted by what's going on around me is just something I need to get used to while painting outdoors. The top left area looked a little bare, so I added some branches using some thin brown lines with a small brush. I'm not really trying to copy exactly what I see in front of me. I'm mainly doing this just to cover up all the white space that's occupying this top left corner here. Now for some finishing touches, and I'm done. Here are some close-up shots of the finished painting. I'm pretty happy with it. I managed to capture the mood, lighting, and gesture of the scene pretty well. But I am going to go home and add in some more details with gouache on top because I really just want to make it look a bit more finished. Alright, I'm done painting. It is so hot. This whole painting took me about, I'd say 1 or 2 hours. I wasn't really keeping track, but we're done. I'm gonna show you the painting later. It's so hot. The sun is right above me right now. It's almost noon. I'm sweating through my shirt and I just want to get out of here, go home and take a cold shower. Here's the finished painting after adding some details with gouache. I used Holbein's acrylic gouache, and from these close-up shots you can see that I managed to add in a lot of variations and textures in the foliage using different brush techniques. The addition of the highlights, shadows, and pops of color really just give the painting a more finished and polished look. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more of this kind of content, I really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And until then, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!